Hey guys, welcome back. 3 games of footy was here for our beautiful Saturday afternoon there from 3 all the way through until 9:30. What a time to be alive if you enjoy footy. There were some great scores in these games. There was also some frustrating ones where it could have been a lot better. And you probably know who those guys are already. The best guy on this list, Sean Johnson. I thought he hopefully was going to update over 100 there. Just didn't happen. I don't remember the last time he has got a ton. So very, very exciting for anyone who owns Johnson. It's a large majority, but there's still about 20-25% who missed out from the top sort of 1,000, 5,000 there. So good news for us who do own him. Anyone who captained him last week, I was thinking of you guys after this game. I was like, oh, how painful that is. But across the board there, just the one missed tackle in this game. A little bit of vintage SJ with some steps through the middle of the park. One off the right foot, yeah, the second one was, and then the first one off the left foot, bang through the middle and under the stick. So happy days seeing that from Johnson, exactly what you want there. Speaking of someone that has been absolutely dominant all year, and that's Jermaine Osako, and another 77 in this one. So one of his highest scores of the year. 52 is the average, 4 line breaks and a try to go with 9 tackle breaks, 278 meters gained. So incredible work from him. And shaping up like with Greg Marzu as two of the best wing fullback options, that's for sure. Wouldn't expect it to be wingers, but Sarko continues to do it, and obviously the goal kicking as well. It's helpful, not that he needed it at all or used it at all in this game. He missed both his kicks. So, yeah, Jermaine, a great game from him and someone we do need to look at. I'd say post round 16, that's for sure. Jared Wallace, 58 in his time out there, 66 minutes for him. Similar to Ray Stone, both having to play really big minutes with a few of their guys out. Obviously, Gilbert out for longer term, so that might mean some interesting news for guys like Wallace and Stone. With Gilbert being out, that Stone was probably a sneaky option this week, and you saw why. The week before last, he had a bunch of missed tackles, and this week he did not. 55 made and did a great job. Wallace just continues to dominate across the board, tackles, run meters, and offloads there as well. For those that did hold on to Nicarima, 57 in this one. He had a try saver, 2 turnover tackles, so that was 13 points in itself to get him down to a 44. That included a line break, a try assist there, 10 tackles from fullback. Pretty crazy. We know he's obviously a solid defender when he's in the front line, but 10 tackles at fullback's pretty crazy, and 154 meters. So just the one missed tackle across the board for him, and if you held on this far, it worked out well. I did see probably 60 odd of the top 1,000 traded him out this week, so a little bit annoying, obviously, but one of those things. Whereas if you have Katoa and Nicarima, it was definitely trade out Katoa first. But if you only had Nicarima, then it was a fair week to trade him out with his scores at fullback not being his best. But plenty of defensive stats in this one between the tackles and turnover tackles. Adam Blake there, 53 for him. It was a big minute game again. 53 points, so not exactly what you're looking for, but again, it wasn't massive across the board. Him and also Tohu Harris, we'll speak about now, 51, got the 72 minutes. It did seem like he had a bit of an injury in that first part of the game, but 40 tackles for no misses, 117 meters run, no offloads, no tackle breaks, no missed tackles, so not terrible. Again, he'll make some good cash, another 20k you'd say, or close to it, I believe. Maybe not that much. I haven't checked his break even a little bit, but he was solid as well. Adam Blake, both those guys doing great. Harris is obviously cheaper than Fanua, so Adam one is a little bit more of a pain than Harris's is, just based on the cash. Both those guys are holds, obviously. Hopefully, Tohu Harris is a fine, and then just with them winning this game, get him off the park and get him a rest, which is good. Wade Egan, because we need him next week, basically. Wade Egan with 53, so he is back in a good way. This was all in positives, no negatives in this one. Was great news. Someone I don't think is an option given they have a bye, obviously in round 16, but someone to look at for sure. Rada Niokore with 53, so he had a really good running game. I was really impressed with how he looked out there. Running off SJ's right shoulder is great news, obviously. Dallin, another good score for him. He's averaging 43 now in his time out there, so he's done a great job. Since returning, he looks fully fit, and another 2 tries, a line break, 209 meters, running with vigor at all times there, so he was good. Jackson Ford, 52, so if you did hold on to him, surprisingly, the first time in a long time, he had 1 missed tackle. So, shock, he went over 50 when he had 1 missed tackle, so to be expected. If you trade him out, I know a bunch did, it's frustrating, but if you held, that 52 is going to be helpful. Same with another 52 in this next game. But Barnett, welcome return to him. Not something we want to look at this point, guys, but just keep an eye on him and his scores. Joshy Curran, 39 for him. Not ideal, obviously, if you still own, but not many do. All right, now for the annoying one of the day, and that's Chancellor Klukstar. So he had a line break early in the half. In the first half, he had a line break assist, which was great. Obviously, 5 kick defusals, 186 meters. He was dudded of a line break, a couple of tackle breaks, and some run meters. So it would have been well over a 10-point play. When they went back, all the way back to when Pompey got hit in the head, after he passed it to Klukstar and he ran off, and they got 50 meters up the field and passed it back. Yeah, he passed it to whoever it was. Metcalf. Yeah, Metcalf passed it back into Tafade's chest, and he played out obviously and went out. So it would have been fine just to play on there, but they went back and called the penalty, and that killed 10 points of Klukstar. And then we had his try assist to Dallin, who got it down perfectly, but Nick or whoever it was ran through and hit one of the boys. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass that he didn't get at least a 55 in this one. So 39. Still, really happy with his output over the last 2 weeks, but it could have been better again. And he's one of the lower ownership guys I have in my side, which would have been nice for sure, but didn't work out that way. You got Metcalf in there. So he had a 39, which was solid in the end. 28 tackles for 1 miss. Good stuff. 74 run meters. Weird that he's not getting any tackle breaks and offloads. So he's obviously, he hasn't come back the same, is what we need to say at this point, because we know every time he gets on the park, or he did before he was getting that hammy injury of recent time, he was getting tackle breaks and offloads. We love Metcalf. Hope he does well, but 39 definitely helps. For those that brought him in, for sure. Let's talk about Plath. So he's an interesting one, isn't he? Because 34 in his 46 minutes, he came on and just was a tackle bot, wasn't he? So, mixed some time at hooker with obviously Jeremy Marshall-King being out, and it looks like Jeremy Marshall-King will be back. So there's not much more to say on Plath. Just obviously did his job. Tackled hard in that 46 minutes, and that's all you can ask for. But yeah, not really someone we want to look at this point, because Jeremy Marshall-King should be back next week. Good to get him a rest, and then he gets another rest in 16. So yeah, he'll be back fit and firing after that at a minimum anyway, even if he did miss next week, which we hope he doesn't. But if he did, it would still be fine. Isaiah Katoa, 32 tackles. Crazy how many tackles it was from a couple of these guys anyway. But not much of a game from him. Neg 6 and 37 run meters, 119 kick. Nothing special. Definitely sell him, guys. You won't lose much there with 32. And he scores similarly to that of Jacob Host. So that's that. Lemuelu, 27. So you had the head knock, unfortunately. 67 minutes played, but didn't really play too well. A couple of errors, a couple of missed tackles. No tackle breaks. 1 offload. Yeah, a bit of a nothing game from him. Hopefully he's back next week, because we don't want to be another low one next week, and then we have to think about trading him out in 16, especially when we've already traded out Jack Bird. But Lem should be back to his best next week. Let's hope. Milford wasn't great. Obviously got Simbin as well. Not exactly what you want to be looking at there with him when we're looking at him as a potential trade in. And I think that 26 just makes us look to avoid him now. If you own him now, I think he's fine. You'll be able to score well next week, but just wasn't their game at all. Dolphins, was it? Speaking of Dolphins, Tafade got his chance to play, which was very, very good. 55 minutes for him, and he ended up with 24. That included a try saver and a try assist. The try assist right at the end for Asako there, so that worked out well. And having him on the right there with Jermaine Asako is going to be pretty helpful, I think. But we'll have to see what's happening with Branko Lee. But definitely happy with the 24. If you didn't expect him to even get on at all or play a couple of minutes, that worked out well for Branko Lee going down with his injury. So that's that. No one else to really speak of. Obviously, Barry played the 13 minutes and Ali played 15 as well. So that's and Montoya 65. So there's a bunch of different. Sorry, when I said Pompey passed it was Montoya that passed it and got hit. So a bunch of different guys that didn't play the full 80 in the outside backs, which allowed big minutes for Curran, obviously, to come and play centers and whatever else. But that was that. So that's that game there. Talk about a high-scoring game. Rabbitohs come up trumps against the Titans, 46-28. And when you own someone named Damien Cook or bring them in, and you're looking for a nice space of 50 tackles with some attacking stats, thankfully, we got the attacking stats. We just did not receive the tackles that we would have been hoping for. So much time where the ball was out of play, and that hampered him a little bit, obviously. Speaking of guys that didn't hamper, Origin especially, finally, someone that didn't get injured. In this game was 2 Origin guys, Arrow and Murray, both got injured. It looks like they both be in a little bit of trouble, Arrow especially, with syndesmosis potentially, and Murray could be in some trouble with his groin issue as well. General physio, hoping it's just a small, something minor, and it's a 1 week thing maybe, or it could be a tear, and that would be upwards of 3 weeks. So That's that with Cam. But speaking of Tino, he was terrific. 60 minutes here, 72 points, got the try at the end. But yeah, just worked hard. 34 tackles, 160 meters. Did a great job, along with Colin Matangi. He was awesome as well with 67 there. Try, assist, and a try. Running off Ilias, he did a great job. Mo Fotuaika, 59 for him. So he was able to still work really hard in a game where there were so many stoppages with tries. So 33 tackles, 160 meters, 5 tackle breaks. Spoke about him as a really strong mid option if you needed him at a tad over 700k. Obviously doesn't play round 16, but that is their final buy in 16. So he's definitely someone that is still on my radar, but obviously he doesn't help us in round 16 there. Cody Walker, 57. So that try, that Cook try back in for Walker, and that catch and pass he did to Johnston was just absolutely incredible. So just fun watching him every week. Got him in Supercoach, so I was watching him a little bit closer than I normally would in fantasy, just because he's never, in recent time anyway, hasn't been a great option fantasy-wise, but he's just putting on tries and try assists for fun this year, so he's been great to watch. Isaiah Tass, another one of those guys, the last 2 weeks he's done really well, so happy days if you grabbed him. Hame Sele, 52, he ended up with that try there, which was good. I did see a few people snuck him in like the 3 or 4 interchange jersey, which worked out great for you guys, so well done. Gives him another price rise and obviously a big score in this round 14 game. Cookie was up at 54 down to 51. Very, very sad. They gave him 49 meters, of course. Rude. There's an Isaiah Tass with 119. There's 29 for Tanner. So they're absolutely killing people with the run meters, aren't they? So just give him the 1 extra. Come on. Be nice. Give him the extra point. But anyway, yeah, Cook with just the 1 missed tackle. Two tackle breaks, 38 tackles there. 1 try assist. So a little bit everything across the board, but not a lot of everything, which leaves him at 51. Still makes money. Or 6 the same, I should say, with his break even around that point, and he'll do a job for me. Thankfully, I suppose I can look at that he didn't get injured, and when I needed him for next week, there was a little bit of issue with his hand or something like that they were looking at, but he played the rest of the game, and that's when he put on that try, and almost could have put on another, which they knocked down as well. So Cookie thankfully decided to run a bit at the end, and I hope that continues. But yeah, just someone just to know, guys, from a pure footies perspective, his passing out of dummy half is so elite. Like he fizzes those torpies out in front and it curls back to the guy. So it almost looks like it's about to, it's a line ball almost, but it curls and he throws it in front of the guy. So it makes it look that even more spectacular. And they're always running on, like Walker's always running onto the footy, or whoever they pass to first, Murray. I think that try they did, he went right out in front, long one, got there easy to Murray. Murray got it on to Walker, and then he had that awesome that flick on pass that with so much power to Johnson, and just that pass from dummy half is what gets their team in the right position. So you can understand why he's so valuable to this squad, just as a pure footy perspective rather than fantasy on this one. Randall with 50 got a try in 46 minutes, so good on him. Johnson with 3 tries and 3 line breaks, so well done, Scoop. For grabbing him. Obviously the 48 points with 3 tries is pretty sad, to be honest with you, but that is Johnston in a nutshell, that is for sure. Tanner Boyd was obviously my other option in the hook position, and he started on fire with that line break try assist. Did a great job, but didn't finish off the second half, especially. He had an error in there, a couple of missed tackles, just wasn't his half, and then the Titans kind of fell apart. And obviously when he doesn't have hand on ball, he's not going to be able to do a lot other than defensively. And you can see that there with 11 tackles for 2 misses. Wasn't a lot going on. 2 forced dropouts. Did a lot of good in the first half, and the commentators were praising him, and then it kind of fell away a little bit from there. But 46 is fine. But you want more, obviously. Blake Taff, 41. For anyone who had him, I saw one person trying to, how do I get Taff in my team? As an emergency. Totola, 37. So again, not really his game. Plenty of run meters, but tackles were down a bit. Couple of misses. And that penalty as well wasn't great. Jacob Host, 36. Did a job. Scored better than Katoa if you traded out Katoa. But I think either way, you're not too stressed if you're trading out both of them. They kind of, did okay this week. Didn't do great last week, Host, but he did better this one. Lochilo's 34. Verrills, welcome home to him. 30 in 34 minutes. So hopefully he gets limited minutes for a bit, and then after round 16 he can get back to sort of closer to 80, although they might still use Randall for a bit. We'll see what happens, but he looked great. 28 tackles and a try assist for Tino at the end. Isaac came out and got a try, and it's like, oh, where's Big Tino? And it wasn't there, so that's that with him. Jojo Fafita, 27. Murray, as I said, 26. Graham, 26. Yeah, not the elite option sometimes, isn't he, Graham? He can still score and have a bit of an average game. Pereira, Campbell, both average. Both need to be sold, I believe. Campbell needs to go. More tackles, but yeah, more errors and the like there. Richie Kenner, got to try in the line break. A couple of good leaps in the air, but yeah, not exactly what you're looking for with that kind of score. And the biggest one here is Dave Fafita. So owned by 38 in the top 100, unless they sold him at all this week. And that is huge news. 33 minutes, to get 15 in 33 minutes, not good enough. To have 21 run meters, not good enough. They really ganged up on him when he did run the footy. So that's it. That was important in their defensive scheme. But yeah, to get 15 there, it just drops his price a bit. And yeah, next week he'll be able to go well again. But very frustrating for you. Did hold him. Obviously, missing round 13, getting the 15 here hurts. But all of the great work that he'd done prior to that round 13, which absolutely destroyed all of us and helped you propel up the ladder, kind of just brings it back to the pack just a little bit of help. All right, let's get the frustration out now. Nico Hynes, 43 at halftime, 62 to round out this game, and he did not get a turnover tackle. Why? Him and whoever else was involved with it were in the tackle. Walsh offloads it out to back to the ground, and Hynes dives on it, and you tell me that's not a turnover tackle. Okay, mate. There's no one else in this game for the Sharks that actually got one on that side. Unless they gave it to Ramian there. Oh, they must have given it to Ramian at the end. Oh, of course they did. For those that traded in Ramian too. Alright, whatever. Moving on. Hynes, yeah, just their whole team, they look bad, don't they, in the second half. First half was solid. I've been watching them closely, obviously owning Hynes the last month, and I don't think they're that good of a footy side. They've got so much talent. They've got so many outside backs that do amazing things. Kennedy there is incredible at the back, and they're doing awesome things, but their last play options, their decisions there, I think Hynes kicked it into a defender 3 times. I think Moylan did it twice. So clunky. It was so bad to watch, to be honest. I was just yelling. I wasn't very happy at all in that second half. Obviously, there's 4 line break assists in there. It shows that, how much talent these guys have got. He's running the footy plenty. The kick meters were down a fair bit. They were kind of, they'd make a lot during their sets, and then they just completely dudded at the finish. So a lovely try assist there on the left-hand side. Talakai, so there was great things in the first half, and then there was a lot of terribleness in the second half, and obviously bringing up the missed tackles there. He's got the error in that one as well. It was just frustrating across the board. And to captain him over Cleary when we know what Cleary is going to do this afternoon, very, very sad. But yeah, 62. It's not the worst. It's not 37, obviously. But yeah, he's $1 million man. You want him to be scoring 70 at least. And if you're captaining him, hopefully 80 or something like that. So we'll see what Cleary does this afternoon. But yeah, when Hynes is owned by 56% or something, people, you want him to do well. Farnworth, another good game for him. 64 was happy days there in that one. Obviously up and down, but 46 the average now. Is a keeper in the centres. Just Corey Oates, welcome back to him. A great game. Stagsy, welcome back. I don't think anyone owns him anymore, but 390k. He delivered in this one. Actually ran the footy with vigour for once. Happy days. Exactly what we want and what he needs. Jordan Ricky, 59 in this one, was terrific. Reece Walsh, 2 try savers and 2 turnover tackles. There is 18 right there, 41 across the board for the rest of it, with 3 offloads and try assists and 3 line break assists there. Did his job. If you owned him, I did see a bunch of people sold him as well, anticipating that he would rest, and obviously people sold him in round 13 as well. So for those that held, well done. For those who brought in Britton Nikora, 58 for him. It was very, very happy sledding. Obviously, a line break there, he gets 3 offloads. He's a bit of everything. He's not going to be that 40 tackles, 150 meter guy. He's going to do it in multiple different ways. Kennedy with 54. Speaking of Nikora, obviously still an option, guys. Pretty expensive in that edge, though, especially when I know a lot of people will look at Bateman and also Ipapali'i, who is a bit cheaper as well. Both of them will be. Reynolds 50, happy days. Don't trade him out, but just don't trade him in. He's just a hold. Ramian was at 35 overnight and it went up to 50. So yeah, he must have got the turnover tackle, bunch of extra run meters, I think, and some tackle breaks there. So well done for anyone there. Ramian. Wilton went off for a head injury assessment, ended up with 67 minutes as well. But yeah, just not a big chunk of negatives. He missed 2 pretty crucial tackles, which got the Broncos upfield in the first half, so he still has that in his game. But yeah, other than that, fantasy-wise, with 50, you'll take. Payne Haas, on the other hand, 56 minutes, so still played his normal amount of minutes, just the amount of attacking stats, and obviously 3 missed tackles in there. through that back end of the game when he would have been a little bit more tired. Hurt him there. One tackle break is so weird to see from Payne Haas there. In that one, Carrigan played exactly the minutes that I thought he would, about 50 minutes in return, which usually means he's not going to score great, but he had the tackle break and the offload to go along with 45 in base, so he was solid there as well. But yeah, both those guys, I think you're obviously holding next week, but do you trade one of them out just when you know that they can get a lower score backing up? And is it worth it having missed round 13, 16, 19, lowest score in 14, 17, 20? It's up to you. I don't have them. Chose against that with Payne Haas when he had the earlier injury there, and obviously Fafita showed that less minutes come to those bigger middle forwards and edge guys for the most part. Especially Fafita hasn't done it for a while in Origin or played big minutes, that's for sure. Flagler still scored well, 41 if you held on to him in the 41 minutes. That was good. You've got Talakai down there. People looking at it. A lovely try, obviously, off Hynes' left shoulder there. 6 missed tackles hurt him in his game, though. Malatalo, the 30, not ideal either. And then really nothing much from down there. Hazelton got the 17 minutes. Came on when Wilton went down with the head injury assessment. And Wade Graham kind of playing all right on that left edge and wherever else he played during that game. So that's that, really. I think Piakora, he actually had a pretty good game. He was good at evading a few tackles. He got 3 tackle breaks, a couple on Hynesy there in a few good positions. So yeah, he actually looked much better this game than he did last game, but he still, I don't know, just doesn't seem to get involved in defense, maybe. Like, that seems to be the thing. 15 tackles in 52 minutes is not good enough. But yeah, they're giving him big minutes over the last few weeks anyway, so good on Piakura. That's that, guys. Here's the 3 games. We have 3 more today. I have 9 players remaining. I've got Nickel Klukstar looped today. So he's already in the 5 position, looped, ready to go. And then I think I'm going to select Billy Smith over Oloapu just for the upside. So he definitely has a lower floor. But I think with Billy, with Oloapu, it's probably going to be somewhere between that 25 and 37, I'm going to call. Whereas I think Billy Smith has the 15 in his game, but he also has the 60, obviously, with 2 in a row there. So I'm going for the upside play. If I miss out, it's going to be missing out on sort of 15 or so, which I don't think's too bad. But if I get the upside, it's going to be plus 30 or plus 25. So that's where I'm generally thinking on who I'm going to play in this one. So good luck, everyone, and we'll see you in the Sunday review.